Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Depending on where you are in the world, welcome to today's webinar, Highlights of 2023 China's Healthcare Industry, broadcast by CPHI and PMAC China. I'm Yuna from CPHI and PMAC China team, and I will be your moderator today. I believe that after today's webinar, you will get to know more about China's health market, learn the latest relevant policies in China, and updates on the internationalization of China's healthcare industry. Now, I'd like to introduce our speakers today. Ms. Pan Yue works in Department of International Cooperation, China Chamber of Commerce of Import and Export of Medicines and Health Products. She dedicates to serve Chinese healthcare enterprises with professional consultants of international trade and investment. Ms. Pan, over to you now.
Okay, hi everyone. And I'm Pan Yue from China Chamber of Commerce of Medicines and Health Products for Import and Export. And I work in the Department of International Cooperation. And today I would like to share my views and a general analysis about the highlights of China's healthcare industry in 2023. And my presentation will be divided into 4 parts. And here's the outline. So let's move to the first part, the China's healthcare industry. And my introduction will be according to the different divisions. First, let's look at the output value. According to the statistics, in 2023, the added value of the healthcare industry above designated sites is about 1.3 trillion yuan, and the operating income of enterprises is about 595 billion yuan. The profit is about more than 400 billion yuan, and we can see all the 3 indicators have the decrease than the year 2022. And when we come to the different categories of the products, we can see the total trend of the revenue growth rate and the profit growth rate are all decreasing, except for the TCM products. We can see the TCM prepared slice and the TCM finished products has a positive upward rate. That's mostly because some TCM API prices kept rising in 2023. And for the general decrease trend, I think here are some reasons. First, after the COVID-19 pandemic, the demand of the COVID pandemic and control materials declined, and that caused the PPEs, the respirators, and the medical devices to the exportation got decreased. And also, it leads to the less exportation for biochemicals and medical disposables. And the second reason, I think, the price of many medical products got the cutoff in 2023. From the domestic side, we can see the volume-based procurement from the central government and the provincial government. They all expand the scale and to cut off the price. And for the international perspective, we can see the competition from the whole world is fierce, and the Chinese companies have to face the excess capability of the production. And also the price for some staple product, it is decreasing, like the vitamins and some antibiotics. And speaking of the market size, from the pie chart, we can see American, it's still the biggest healthcare market in the world, and China ranks the 3rd after the Europe market. And according to some statistics, we estimate China's healthcare market size will reach about a total 4,000 billion yuan size in 2024. And this slide shows the reproof and approval by the NMPA. Here are some 4 highlights we can see. For the review, almost 3,000 applications for clinical trials of new drugs were approved, and 170 applications for confirmatory clinical trials were reviewed, and 470 new drugs marketing approval applications were reviewed. And these 3 figures, they all have about 1/3 growth by the year 2022. And the NMPA approved 40 new drugs and 45 drugs for rare diseases and 92 children's drugs in 2023. As for the indications for the drugs, anti-tumor is still the most concentrated area. Of the whole 40 approved first-class new drugs, there are 15 is the anti-tumor medicines, accounting for like 40%, and most drugs focus on the area of tumor, chronic hepatitis, and stomach pain, diabetes, psoriasis, etc. And the 4th highlight about first-class new drugs, we can see NMPA approved 40 first-class new drug in 2023, and it's almost double than 2022. And also, NMPA approved total of 140 first-class new drugs in the past 5 years. The overall trend is growing. From this outcomes of review and approval, we can see that this is also the indication of the enhancement of capability of innovation of Chinese companies. And for R&D expenditure, we can see China ranks the 2nd largest pharma R&D country now. And in 2023, China's pharma R&D expenditure reached about over the 250 billion yuan, and also in 2023 we have more than 5,000 kinds of drugs now. And for the therapeutic areas, the drugs still in the R&D period, they focus, the top 2 areas is anti-cancer and biotechnology. This slide shows the top 50 global pharma companies elected by Pharma Exec. And the 4 Chinese pharma companies are on the list. The Sino Biopharmaceutical, Shanghai Pharmaceuticals Holding, Jiangsu Hengrui Medicine, and CCCMHPIE Pharmaceutical. And also, among the top 10 pharmas with highest number of pipelines, 2 Chinese companies, Jiangsu Hengrui and Beijing, are on the list. They are all the innovative enterprises. For the pharmacies in 2023, the national retail pharmacy market reached about 140 billion yuan. And from the bar chart, we can see the sales trend of all categories in the national retail pharmacy. The highest amount reached in 2022 is about over 5,000 billion yuan. And it's mostly due to the epidemic prevention and control, and the number got a slightly back in 2023. And the major growing categories for the drugs in the retail pharmacies are nutraceuticals, blood and hematopoietic system drugs, and anti-tumor drugs, and skin drugs. And also, I want to mention another kind of pharmacies is outpatient coordinated pharmacies. It refers to the medicines you buy and the cost will be reimbursed by the medical insurance. And the outpatient coordinated pharmacies has already covered 22 provinces and 220 prefectural level cities, and about 141,000 designated retail pharmacies nationwide have opened outpatient reimbursement services. This kind of outpatient coordinated pharmacies will promote the access to medicines and reduce the out-of-pocket cost from the citizens. And as for the financing cooperation, in 2023, more than 700 investment and financing events happened in the domestic healthcare industry, and 679 companies take part in it. We can see the number of events are more than the number of companies, which means some companies got the fund more than once, and it can show the interest and the attention the capital market paid into the healthcare industry. And after the general introduction about China's healthcare industry, I would like to give some relevant policies updates. Under the general mechanism of the 14th five-year plan for the development of pharmaceutical industry, here are some targets all the stakeholders in the industry will work on. The first is to promote continuous growth of health products exportation and also promote breakthrough of TCM going global and encourage cultivation of world-renowned brands, and also encourage cultivation of large pharma companies with global R&D layout and international sales capacity. And for the industry development, I concluded some important policies according to the different catalogs of products. As we can see, here is the action plan for high quality development of the pharmaceutical and the medical devices industry, and also the implementation plan for the revitalization and development for TCM, and also the opinions for further improving the medical and health service system. And the last one is some work related to promoting the new technology. All these policies, they all aim to promote the R&D system building and the capacity of production, and also the combination of the healthcare industry and the medical system. And for the regulatory reinforcement, most of the policies are issued by National Medical Products Administration. We call it NMPA. And for the quality control, NMPA issued the notice for enhancing the management of MMA holders in China. And also the CDE of NMPA issued the guidelines for the consistency evaluation of generic drugs. And also for system improvement, an NMPA issued the measures for administration of drug standard. This policy will promote the monitoring of the whole life cycle of a drug production. And also the ASAMR issued the measures for supervision and administration of the drug distribution and use. It will be monitoring the promotion for the drug distribution, commercialization, and the circulation in market. And for R&D, we can see here are the expansion of the batches, the numbers, and the varieties of the different kinds of drugs in the medical insurance catalog for the children's drugs, rare diseases, and generic drugs. And speak of the medical system improvement, no matter from the medical service or quality enhancement or the hierarchical treatment, all these policies, they are aimed to promote the balance of the medical resources in the nationwide and to help to build the full coverage of the medical service system, both in the rural region and in the urban region in China. And for the elderly care, the three departments jointly issued the Smart Health Products and the Service Promotion Catalog. This is the step to encourage more new technology to be implemented in the new type of elderly care to use, like AI, digital health, portable equipment to do the better elderly care. And last, for the procurement and the reimbursement, both for the volume-based procurement and the health insurance catalog, we can see the increasing number and the varieties to be included in the batches of VBP and also in the catalog of health insurance. So let's move to part 3 about the internationalization of the healthcare industry. The process of internationalization, we can be divided to past, now, and future. In the past, the most kind of product to be exported is mainly intermediate and API. And with the development of the industry, it transformed to some special API and FDF. And nowadays, some high-end FDF 505(b)(2) challenge patents generics happened. And till now, Chinese companies, they take part in and play more role in the drug application, global R&D, multi-center clinical, overseas mergers and acquisitions, and also local productions, commercial layout. And we talk about the NDA applications in both domestic and international society more and more. And the trend of technology transfer has changed from the licensing to license out. And speaking of the internationalization, first we need to know the numbers of the trade volume. From this form, we can see the China's healthcare trade volume in 2023. And the total trade volume of the healthcare products reached about $200 billion in 2023. But we can see the foreign trade growth, the export growth, the import growth, they all got a declining trend. And this slide shows the export share by catalogs and the specific product. We can see from the left one, pharmaceuticals take like half of the export share, and then the second is medical devices. And for the specific products, the most one for exportation is API, then the hospital diagnostic and treatment product, then the rehabilitation product. And this slide shows the major exporting market and countries. We can see One Belt and One Road region is getting more and more important, and it ranks the first market for China's healthcare product to export. And it accounts for like 40% of the whole share. And for the top 10 countries, on the right side, we can see the US, India, Japan, Germany, etc. And all the YOY growth has been decreasing. And from this slide, we can see the left broken line chart. We can see it is the China medical products foreign trade trend. And before 2020, the trend of exportation is steadily increased. And after the pandemic, here's come some dramatic changes. And the red one shows the 4 quarters in 2023 for exportation. On this chart, it's obvious that the highest amount reached in the first quarter, but for the broken line shows the YOY growth, we can see it peaked in the fourth quarter. And I think this reflects that with the time passed, with the recovery of the epidemic control, and the exportation trend will be recovering gradually. And for the specific product of the pharmaceutical and medical equipment, there are some export volume ranks. For FDF, the most exporting products like hormone drugs, anti-infective drugs. And for medical equipment, here's the hospital diagnostic treatment, rehabilitation products. They took the most percentage for exportation. And after the introduction about trade, we can see the cooperation projects in recent years. A lot of cooperation projects were launched by Chinese company. This forum shows the examples between China and ASEAN countries, the cooperation project between 2022 to 2023. And we can see many state-owned and private Chinese company launched the cooperation in Southeast Asian countries like Singapore, Indonesia. And this slide shows the China and the Central Eastern European countries cooperation projects. It's just part of it. And all these cooperation projects, we can conclude to the 4 types. The first one is R&D cooperation. Example, like the Chinese company Casino, they conducted the vaccine R&D in Indonesia. And the second type is clinical trial. For example, the Zhifei Biological, they conducted the COVID vaccine clinical trials in Laos and in Indonesia. And the third one is local production, which is also the very hot topic these days, especially in Africa and in Southeast Asia. The example is Sinopharm. They put the first paracetamol production pipeline in Indonesia. And the fourth one is financing cooperation. Chinese Silk Road Fund assisted 2 Indonesian state-owned countries to do their international commercializations. And for technology transfer, as I introduced before, more and more Chinese new drugs have been approved in Europe and the US, and the sales of new drugs listed abroad have reached a new high. The trend of license out is more than license in for Chinese company now. And the forum shows the top 10 international license out cases in 2023. We can see many buyers are the multinational companies, the big companies, they are buying Chinese technology. And for the international public procurement, this subject can be divided to government procurement and also the organization procurement. Here I take United Nations procurement as an example to analyze China's participation. Here is a timeline for the past 5 years. And we can see before the pandemic in 2018, 2019, the participation of China, the total amount maintained at $2 million, and it ranks at more than 20th. And in 2020, because of the exploitation, the procurement of China's PPEs and medical devices, the medical product amount reached to the $700 million, and China ranked at 3rd position. And in 2021, China still maintained the 3rd position, and the medical product procurement doubled from the $700 million to $1.5 billion because of 3 kind of the vaccines product by China. They got the WHO EUL list approved. So the procurement had a sharp increase. And for the catalogs of the UN procurement medical product, for the whole time, it's always the medical devices take more percentage in the healthcare product, except for the 2021 for the vaccine procurement. And the major UN agencies that purchasing in China for medical products are UNICEF, PAHO, UNDP, WHO, UNFPA, UNOPS. And this is some numbers and indicators for the international registration by Chinese products. We can see in 2023, here is 4 new drug applications approved by FDA and 2 first generic approval by FDA. And for CEP certificates from 2015 to 2021, China obtained more than 700 CEP certificates in EU, and from 2015 to 2021, China added more than 800 new US DMF registration numbers. For the WHO PQ till now, a total of 9 vaccines, 55 FDFs, 57 APIs, and 2 drugs testing laboratories from China were pre-qualified by WHO. Except for the China's product international registration, also China's regulatory agencies also align with the international standards. Like for the bilateral side, China established bilateral cooperation mechanism with more than 60 regulatory SRAs, such as the US, EU, and Japan. And from multilateral perspective, China comprehensively participated in the standards building, harmonization, and translation work in China. Here I listed some multilateral cooperation mechanism like SCH, IMDRF, and here is the latest development about the PICs. In 2023, an MPA has submitted a formal application to PICs to start the pre-accession process. And also another remarkable outcome is WHO announced that China passed the NRA assessment for vaccines in 2023. I think these outcomes can show that Chinese regulatory authority and the China's standard is being recognized by the international society. So let's get back to the process of internationalization. I think we can give a summary to these 3 periods. In the past, from 2001 to 2014, exporting products are mainly APIs and low-value consumables produced in domestic. And now at present, from 2015 to 2022, China's production capacity of generic drugs and small and medium-sized medical devices expanded. International of R&D, clinical trials, manufacturing, and talent development has been highlighted. And in the future, from 2023 to the future, China will also accelerate this type of innovation capacity building and the regulatory policy coordination with international high-level rule, and Chinese technology, brand, and standards will continuously promote to the world. After all the introduction, I would like to go to our contribution of CCCMHPIE. CCCMHPIE is the industry organization and it is the service-oriented and integrity prioritized. We work as the bridge between the government and the enterprise, and also between the domestic and the international. We build this very fruitful international platform with the support of all the stakeholders. So as the bilateral mechanism, first we have the healthcare working group under the ministerial level, under the Ministry of Commerce of China. And our chamber has been designated to be the point of contact for the China-Italy, China-Britain, China-Denmark healthcare working group. And second, we have close connection with embassies in China and also the commercial department of China Embassy in other countries. Third, we have the daily working mechanism with many bilateral relevant organizations, including the trade promotion, academic, regulatory agencies. We co-host some organizations and do the joint research. And for regional mechanism, we have the 4 major platforms: the China CEC Public Health Industry Alliance, China Central Asia Health Industry Alliance, SCO Traditional Medicine Alliance, China Africa Healthcare Cooperation, and the FOCAC. On the 4 platform, we gathered the resources and experts of the relevant organizations and also the representatives of the enterprises. Under this mechanism, we hold the summits, webinars, and also some matchmaking for business cooperation. And for the international registration, every year during the CPHI China exhibition, CCCMHPIE will hold the International Regulatory Agency Updates Forum. I think this year it will be held on June 20th. And we will invite FDA and pharmacopoeia from major countries in the world, and also the WHO PQ team and the inspection experts to have the face-to-face consultation to Chinese companies and release the latest policies about registration and inspection. And for international public procurement, we established a working committee of the international public procurement, and we do 4 kinds of daily job. The first is the report and analysis release. Every year we will write many reports and the articles to analyze the UN procurement, the foundation procurement, and also advice for Chinese companies. And we organize the online and offline meetings with many organizations to do the training or the policy release or the business cooperation. And the third job is on the social media, WeChat. We built a lot of specialized communities, the talking group, according to different products and different areas to give enterprises the latest news and some matchmaking opportunities for the trade and the investment. And the last one is project cooperation. We have long histories with many UN agencies like UNAIDS, UNICEF, and also the foundations like Gates Foundation to do the research and write the reports jointly, and also co-host some relevant seminars and conference. And our chamber will in the future still continuously to promote the internationalization of China's healthcare industry. And this is all my introduction. Welcome for any questions or communications via my email, and thanks for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Pan. Thank you all for joining today's webinar. More information about China pharma market, latest regulation and policies, industry innovation are available during CPHI and PMAC China 2024, taking place in June 19th and the 21st in Shanghai, China. You may simply scan the QR code on the screen and get registered to join this year's event and make further connection with key persons from pharma community. You may network with over 60,000 pharma professionals from China and the globe. Source high-quality, cost-effective pharma solutions from 3,500 acceptors, including leader brands from ingredients, finished dosage, formulation, biopharmaceuticals, natural extractors, machinery and equipment, packaging and drug delivery, laboratory equipment, and more. Besides, you can learn from over 80 insightful and renowned conferences during the show, so don't miss out our biggest edition yet. We look forward to meeting you in person in Shanghai. That's all time we have for today. Thank you again to our speaker and to everyone in the audience. See you in June.